me sit down first.
Sorry. Well,
I
actually pulled up the wrong video, so I had to cut it short. Hey, Brandy. Thanks for joining in. Brandy and I chatted earlier. Make sure that you share out and let people know that you are watching tonight. Tonight's show is going to be different. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Oh, you got a Middle of the Magic.
Oh, yeah.
Cup. I'm drinking out of my... Well, I don't know what this is.
That's a Disney movie kind of thing.
Yeah. Mowgli's nickname for Baloo was Old Papa Bear. Oh, look, it's got trivia on it. It's perfect for us. Okay. So, do you guys know who the original voice of Mickey Mouse was? I mean, come on. You gotta know who that is, right?
Yeah, it's Roy.
You're hilarious.
I try to be.
Anyway.
It's Walt.
It was Walt. Hey guys, listen, join in and watch us this evening. My name is Rita. This is
Henry.
And we are a Dis Nerds Life. All we are Disney enthusiasts. We've been traveling to the parks. Well, I've been traveling to the parks for decades.
How many decades have you been traveling to the park?
Enough.
Well, love, you've not been traveling there for 5 decades, so you're fine.
So as you guys come on in, please make sure that you share this.
That's what I'm going to do right now.
Henry's doing that right now. Please make sure you share this to get the word out, because tonight we're going to actually talk about the most common questions that we get for Disney travel.
Most of these questions are actually ones that have come in over the last couple of months. So we always encourage people to try and send us questions, just little things. And it can be as much as, hey, my child is gets motion sick. What can they do?
Right.
Things like that. It doesn't have to be anything real specific or anything like that. So let's see.
So we are going to hit up on some questions tonight, and we'll talk about our topic in a minute. But do want to put a shout out for Middle of the Magic Travel. Middle of the Magic Travel is our sponsor, and we love them. It is it's no secret that we actually are agents for Middle of the Magic Travel. But before we were agents, travel planners who specialize in Disney destinations, we were Disney enthusiasts first. I grew up on Disney. My mom took me to Disney when I was little. My mom went to Disney in the 70s when it first opened. I love her stories. She stayed at the Polynesian, and she also stayed at the Contemporary. So I always wonder, was she at the Poly when John Lennon was there? That's what I always think about.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. So, and back then, who knows? It wasn't as crowded. But these days, you could be at the park, and there could be 4 or 5 very famous people that whether they're famous to you or famous to the world, can be out and about traveling and stuff. I remember
John Stamos.
I remember even more recently, who's somebody who's pretty famous to our girls right now is a gentleman by the name of Tim Tracker. He was at the park the same day we were for the Hall of Presidents. Yeah. He was there to check it all out. We were there also, got over there the same day on stuff, but never saw each other. I probably need to tag. I won't tag him in this video.
Oh, well, I tagged him today, actually.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I did. But anyway, so yeah, Middle of the Magic Travel is who makes this possible. We are so grateful for our partnership with them and grateful for them helping us make this happen. So when you're ready to book your vacation, whether it is Disney World, Disneyland, Aulani, Adventures by Disney, Disney Cruise Line, which I highly recommend, you definitely want to go through Middle of the Magic Travel. And we're actually going to do a whole show.
I might have another one on there for you. I mean, you said it, but people hear us talk about Adventures by Disney.
Yeah.
And you go, well, a Disney is always an adventure. Yes, it can be.
For some it is.
But let us turn around and talk about what is Adventures by Disney. You know what? I love the...
we should do a whole show on Adventures
we
by
probably
Disney.
will.
Yeah.
We'll turn around and talk about that one in the near future. But think about it. If you were going to... Let's say you're traveling to go over to London. You're going to travel with your family. But, who helped you find all the good stuff? Or if you're going to go to China to see the Great Wall of China. Adventures by Disney gets local guides to give you the tour of the place, but has a Disney cast member there to make sure that you get the same personalized experience. So
yeah, there's a lot of perks to the whole Disney Adventures by Disney, and I think we should pull on a few people from the agency and do a whole Adventures by Disney show. I hadn't actually thought about that. Libby, thank you so much for saying hi. Do me a favor and share this and let everybody know that we're on, because we are answering your Disney travel questions this evening. If you want to shout out some trivia to us too, we're always up for that. We love Disney trivia. All right. So before we get into the topic, I just want to talk about we do a poll over on our Middle of the Magic page every Friday. There's one on Mondays too, but every Friday we do a poll, and I like to talk about what that poll was. Do you remember?
I haven't seen it this week.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't. I've been so busy.
Been very busy.
I've been so busy working on getting the new store set up with Epicos. It has been, it's been tiring.
Yes.
So,
hey, that's okay.
That is okay.
Hard work pays off.
Yes, it does.
So, our poll was, where would you eat at the Magic Kingdom? And there's just two choices, and it was Pecos Bills or Columbia Harbor House.
I see that.
Yeah. So where are we at right now?
Well,
you got to vote.
Until I vote, and so I need to go ahead and throw one of them down.
Have to vote.
All right, I'm good. We have 6 votes, and we're 50-50.
Well, if you go over to
6 votes, 50-50.
Oh, if you go over to Middle of the Magic Travel, our Middle of the Magic Travel business page, and go vote on that, you should definitely put in your 2 cents. But what's your pick?
What was my pick?
Yeah.
Columbia.
Why?
The seafood that's over there.
Oh, okay. My pick is Pecos Bills.
Okay.
I love Columbia Harbor House. I always direct people over there. I think it's wonderful.
I think you can't miss out on either one of them. You're on opposite sides of the world, just about.
Yeah,
not quite, but a little bit.
Yeah. But Pecos Bills, I love that Fixin's bar.
Oh, that's true.
And it speaks to my vegetarian loving food heart, so it does. I love going to Pecos
Well,
Bills.
you know, my loving food heart loves Boma instead, where I get a whole lot of meat.
No, that's true. Boma is very good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right.
So
that was about our poll. So here comes our topic of the evening. Tonight, we are going to answer some of our most common questions that we get about Disney travel, and we want you to throw out your questions too, whether you're planning on traveling this year, next year, or beyond. Whatever they are, we will try our best to answer them. Again, decades of experience sitting right here in this living room, because this is our living room.
Decades of experience and a little bit here.
And lots of research.
Yes.
There's nothing more fun than doing Disney travel research.
That's right.
So hopefully we can answer your questions. Oh, Tracy says the nachos. Okay, Tracy, have you done the nachos challenge at the Pecos Bills? Because I have not, and I was thinking,
what challenge are we talking about?
Oh my gosh, they bring out this huge thing of nachos, and you have to eat them under a certain period of time. I have not done that before at Pecos Bills.
Dude, you've not told me that before.
Well, it's.
I would have told you that on the 5th anniversary. Alright, that totally. I'm doing
Sorry.
it. Next trip.
I'm gonna start getting tickled
nachos,
because I'm just
nachos
picturing us trying to eat that big, huge thing of nachos on a romantic trip.
Listen, I'm not sharing my nachos. It's not yours. It's mine.
Oh, well, anyway, you'll be sleeping in the other bed that night.
That would be. All right.
All right. So you ready for the questions?
All right. I'm ready for the questions. Are you ready for the questions? I've read over them.
Okay. So here's the deal. Henry's going to shoot the questions at me, and we're going to see if I can answer them.
We're going to work them out together. You know, I'm going to let her take the lead on some of the questions.
But you know I can answer them.
Yeah.
Because I am a Disney travel expert.
Hey, what about me?
I'm just saying. You're getting there, honey. You're getting there.
I'm getting there. Okay. I don't have decades of experience. You know, I did not plan to park with that.
Excuse me. You'll have to pardon me. I'm getting over an illness, so.
All right, so first question.
Okay, go.
Comes from Susie.
That would be my cousin.
Yeah, but it really wasn't for her. I was throwing your name out.
Okay.
So, how old is the youngest you should take your child?
Well, from personal experience, the youngest I ever took a child was, what do you call it? In utero?
Negative months? Negative 5 months old?
Yeah, okay. So I think that kind of depends on the experience that you're going for. This is what I tell people that I know. If you have children of multiple ages, so let's say you've got a 4-year-old, but you also have an 8-month-old, by all means, take take your children. 8 months old is a great time to take a child because, to be honest with you, they sleep. You can hold them in your arms. You can carry them around. You can, just all of those sort of experiences that it's just really, really easy. And Disney has these wonderful baby care centers that make changing diapers, feeding, nursing beyond a wonderful experience. I have, for the past 3 years, have been using those facilities regularly, both at Disney World and Disneyland. And I can't express to you how awesome those facilities are. Now, I will say, and listen, I think any time is a great time to take your kid, and I have been taking my children since they were born. There is kind of a time where I might consider, like, this 1 year period where I might say, I'm not real sure, let's kind of hold off on that, and that's the 2-year-old, but I bet there'd be people that would disagree with me. But you know what? It didn't stop me. And that's only because they're just a little bit more difficult.
Some of it also,
that's sort of a selfish mom kind of thing.
Some of it also comes down with who all's traveling. Whenever we took Amelia, what was she, year and a half, whenever we went down with the 16 of us? So you had 2 sets of grandparents down there with us. So that there was always someone who was ready and willing to go back to the hotel with her, the hotel's rooms. Yes. And let her take a nap so that those that wanted to stay could stay and the rest could go back and take a nap. So if it's a family of 4, then the 2's meh. But, if you're taking down multiple generations.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
it's a good excuse to go back to your room and take a nap.
Yeah, so. They're wide-eyed and they're loving it. They're absorbing every second of it. I can't remember how old our youngest was whenever we went down for that summer trip, and we went tent camping. But we saw Anna and Elsa over at the meet and greet.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was the one taking her back for a nap time, and we got in the car and we had a DVD player going. And she saw Anna and Elsa there. And I saw at that moment, that little brain went, yeah. I just saw, and they're here, and I just saw them in real life. And so,
she wasn't quite 2 yet, I don't think.
So, but she was getting in and recognizing it, and it was pretty awesome.
So really, any time is a great time to take your kid. And that's just the God's honest truth. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like we have there we go. Hopefully that'll go away. Had a call coming in there. But yeah, I think any time really to take a kid. Okay, so we've got a question. Yay! Woo!
I got questions here, but I like Brandy's question over here. She asked, where's the best place to get snacks?
Wow.
There's a lot of them, and it depends.
Sleepy Hollows is one of the first places.
Depends on where you're at.
Okay, let's pick one. Let's just pick one from each park. Magic Kingdom.
See, I just go into the snack. I go into the sweets shop right there. It's first go down to Main Street.
Well, okay, let's face it, Dole Whip or Citrus Swirl or any of that. So over in Adventureland, yeah. So there. You want to go to not Aloha Isle anymore, but Sunshine Tree Terrace, or I think
it's back over there by Aladdin's carpet ride.
Yeah. So okay. All right. So Hollywood Studios. Oh, that one's hard.
That one's real hard.
Oh no, it's not.
Where?
No, the carrot cake cookie that used to be over at the bookshop, but is now over at Starring Rolls. Yes, carrot cake cookie. It's got it's like carrot cake brandy, and it's got cream cheese in it. It's like it's really good.
See, I started diving more into desserts as I go along with also, because where I heard snacks. Obviously. Your Mickey pretzels are always there. Your Dole Whip and stuff like that. But the first thing I thought of with it was I run into desserts more than I think anything else for my snacks. And I went down to this Sunshine Seasons at the bottom of the Land Pavilion, and their dessert menu down there. I could eat on forever. But I
agree, but is that really where you would go? I'm gonna here's the debate. Is that really where you're gonna go when you're at Epcot for a snack?
See, I love that the red velvet Mickey head dessert that I got there, which I can also get over at the hub, to the left of the hub. in Magic Kingdom.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So,
okay,
you know,
sorry, I
I'm
was
just
like,
trying
what?
to think of
The hub?
There's not a hub at Epcot. I know that.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, but in Epcot, I'm going to tell you that, Brandy, any country that you are interested in their type of cuisine is going to have a great snack.
Yes.
And I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, but in Japan they have kakigori, which is like shaved ice, and it's kind of like a snow cone, but it's much better than a snow cone.
Yes,
you
it
can't
is.
beat that. Funnel cake over at the American Pavilion. Gosh,
turkey legs everywhere.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I'm trying to think. Listen, I love the food over in Norway, but in Germany you've got the freshly made caramel popcorn. I mean, golly, snacks galore. Epcot is the place where you eat your snacks for sure.
Epcot's where you eat around the world.
Yes.
You know, and whenever you put on poundage at Disney, it's because of Epcot.
But you walk miles.
But you walk, you know, 1.4 miles every time you go around it. So, you know.
And if you want liquid snack, over in Mexico, they have a tequila bar.
So Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay. For me, here we go. Here's my vegetarian living food heart.
Okay.
And I am not a vegetarian. I need to put that out there. But the falafel balls that you can get with the tzatziki sauce, I don't even really know where it's the cart in between. Hey, Kelly! Yay! Thank you. Hey, Kelly, we're talking all about Disney tonight. Just a question. So if you have any questions about your upcoming trip in November, which I'm excited, by the way, we start booking reservation. You got about 60 or so days. But anyway, yeah, for dining. So as you're walking from, I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to say this wrong, but the African village over where like the safari is, and you're headed towards Expedition Everest. So you're going from Africa to Asia, basically. Yes. You pass by this one cart on the right. Don't know the name of it, but they have these really great snacks. There's more than just the falafel. Yes. Little fried falafel balls with the tzatziki sauce. There's some really great snacks in there. I highly, highly recommend that. But I think all of the food surrounding Animal Kingdom is really good.
I'm also going to throw over Pandora, the little bitty snack bar they had over there, because they had their drink over there. It's non-alcoholic drink, but it was one that had just they look like little balls of juice in it. I can't remember.
Excuse me, boba balls. I think is what you call them.
So those were outstanding. So to answer the question, Brandy, there are hundreds of places to get great snacks all day long. And when we start working on y'all's vacation, we will put lots of that in for you.
Absolutely. And also anytime for our clients, when we send we plan with you, we have an actual sheet along with a card that we give to you that has all of our snack recommendations. So you are well taken care of on the snack recommendations. All right. So next question. I love this. It's like challenge Rita.
I am going on a business trip to Orlando. I get one day at Disney properties.
This happened to us recently. Well, not that recently, but just a few months ago.
I got one day to play. What do I do?
1 day to play. Okay. So there's two things that in my mind that pop up first. Now, obviously it's your 1 day to play and you can do what you want to do. But here are the two things that I think of. One, you get a park hopper pass and you do the touring plan, hit every attraction, like you hit every main attraction in all 4 parks in 1 day. Yeah, it's intense. It's called the Ultimate Touring Plan. If you're ever interested in that, I will definitely hook you up with that plan.
All right.
Okay, so you could do the Ultimate Touring Plan.
Okay.
Or if it was me and I was by myself, which I've done this before, I would go to Epcot. But, I would take in all the culture at Epcot. I would walk around. I would listen to the sounds and, there's always music and bands and things like that hanging out around there. So that's
I'm going to throw one more idea out there for you.
Okay, go.
Now that Disney Springs has quadrupled in size, there is so much to do down at Disney Springs now. Now, that, and I know it sounds strange, but that goes to the shopping side of me. I enjoy going into the unique stores and stuff like that they've got over there. So
that may be what you would do?
I would it really depends on kind of what my business trip was like. The ultimate touring plan sounds awesome. I don't know if I'd want to do it, but it definitely sounds really fun.
That sounds like another trip when you and I are just, it's just
Yes.
us.
As long as I have a day off before and after it sounds like maybe. But Epcot was definitely the first place I thought of.
Okay.
So at least now when we hit 2019, my answer's going to change.
You're going to go to Hollywood Studios.
I'll be in Hollywood Star Wars land.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge.
Yes. Yeah. I'll be over at Galaxy's Edge. That's the only point, So.
I agree. Okay. All right. But there are a lot of more options as far as like if you're by yourself and you're headed out for one day. There are some other things that are floating around in my head right now, but we'll talk. Yeah.
And a lot of it also depends on kind of what you're going down for. Like each individual. My father-in-law would tell you that he would just go rent a pontoon boat and go fishing all day.
Yeah.
And that's his ultimate.
You could
day.
do those resort tours too.
Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Most of them are in the morning though. Most of them are. So.
Okay.
Next question got on here. Should I wait till a discount comes out to book my trip?
No, absolutely not. No, because what happens is the majority of the times that these promotions, they're not really discounts, they're promotions. One, Disney puts promotions out because there's a limit, basically because they want rooms to be booked. So oftentimes there's limited availability with these promotions. Now, you may be able to find something, but what will happen is that you're already inside your 180-day window for your dining reservations. And so you want to make sure that you are booking outside of that 180-day window because dining reservations are hard to come by. Everybody wants to eat at Be Our Guest, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And I'm telling you, at 180 days, it's gone. Okay?
Yes.
And there are other places where your dining reservations are going to be gone too. So don't wait for a promotion. When you have a travel planner who works on your side, and if they're doing their job correctly, when those promotions come out, they're going to look and they're going to attempt to apply those promotions to your trip. Now, it doesn't always happen. Magic doesn't always happen for us. I hate that. But oftentimes it does. So definitely do not wait for a promotion.
Yeah, true. I'd agree with that all day long.
Okay.
Because if you're waiting on that promotion, it is limited. And maybe all of those
you may not be able to find the resort that you want. I mean,
so a lot of times it's better to go and already have it there, and then if the promotion comes up with it, then great, you save a little money.
Yeah, and with having back to having a travel planner, when you work with Middle of the Magic Travel, hopefully any other travel agency, anytime you need to make a change, there is no charge for that. Disney takes care of us on our end, so that we can take care of you. So there are no fees.
Yep. So let's see.
Wait, I want to read some of this. See, Libby says, I love listening to you guys talk Disney and how much you guys love it. Yes, we do love what we're doing, Libby. Thank you so much for supporting us. We are so grateful for your love and your support. So, oh yeah, Brandy says, Be Our Guest is number one for them. Yes, Brandy, it is so cool in there, but there's other awesome restaurants too.
But,
we're going to get you in some awesome restaurants.
So, we have a family of 7.
Ah.
What are some of our options?
You mean just like for a resort package?
Yeah, I think for a resort package is what they're, obviously, there's things that they as a family probably know some of their options with. But, most hotel rooms is 4-5 people. For those of y'all who are that kind of come from with my world where I do a lot of conventions, there's a local convention right down in Atlanta called Dragon Con. I've been in a hotel. I've stayed the weekend down there with 11 people in one hotel room.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Disney doesn't let you do that. So option number 1 is you can't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so I will admit that things get a little bit more, not necessarily difficult, but basically, okay, so I have a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, who has a family of 6, I think. And she made a joke to me one time. She was like, yes, she's like, my family's so big. Anytime I look to book a cruise or a vacation, they're like, you need to call a special number. So things do change when you have larger families. Now, here's what's really cool. If you have 8 or less, you can get 2 adjoining rooms. If it's just mom and dad, because mom's in one room, dad's in the other, so they can guarantee that you'll get those adjoining rooms.
Correct.
And you can stay at a value resort, because all value resorts hold 4 guests per room.
Correct.
Now,
how many did the
Art of Animation?
Art of Animation suites?
Okay, so there are options for suites, but they don't hold 7. They only hold 6.
They only hold 6.
Right.
That's right.
They only hold 6. So when you're talking about having
unless one of the 7 is below the age of 3.
Yeah, if it's 0, infant to 2.
Yeah, infant to 2, because they can sleep in a pack and play.
Yes. Well, and they're really not considered a resort guest because, well, one, you're not paying for their dining, you're not paying for their ticket, you're not paying for. I mean, it's the child's free.
Yes.
So yeah, once you have.
So that goes back to the first question. Take your kid when they're like, if they're under the age of 3. So at 2 years and 11 months, you should take them, because they're free.
This is true. I've enjoyed that luxury.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So when you talk about a family of 7, it pushes you out of the suites. The suites at the All Star Music, I think, is where they're at, and then also the suites at Art of Animation, which are, by the way, a suite. We love them.
They were cool.
Yeah, those are great. So you're looking at a 2-room option, but they also have villas that are all in the Disney Vacation Club resorts, and that's like beaches, not beaches, but anyway, the beach club, the yacht club, boardwalk. There's lots and lots of deluxe villas and the deluxe resorts that you can stay with 7 or more. I just recently was working on a vacation for a family of 9, and that's where it kind of changes, because you automatically get bumped up into the moderate resort category, because then you're looking at having 5 and 4, provided everybody's over the age of 3.
Correct.
So anytime you have to have 5 in a room, you're automatically going to get bumped up to the moderate resort, which is great, because the moderate resorts, there really is a big difference between going from a value resort to a moderate resort, and I think that you would really appreciate those amenities.
Double bed to queen bed was well worth it to me.
Yes, absolutely. So you're looking at 2 different rooms still, but at the moderate, the moderate resort price.
Gotcha.
So
all right.
You got your 2 rooms or your deluxe vacation villas that are 3 DVC, which, that's putting you in a different price category.
Right. So this one actually, we kind of talked about it earlier briefly, but we're going to throw it all over this. What does a park hopper do for me, and should I get one? Also, does it let me get into the water parks?
Okay, all right. So park hopper tickets do not... Oh my gosh, did they just change... Oh my gosh, I'm not going to mess this up.
Did they just change it?
No. Okay, there used to be...
Park Hopper and Park Hopper Plus.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Park Hopper Plus is what got you into the water parks.
I was getting something confused. They used to call it something else. All right, so Park Hopper tickets are going to allow you to go in and out of all 4 major theme parks. And if you're at Disneyland, it's the 2 theme parks.
Correct.
So you're able to go in and out as much as you want. No, they do not get you into the into the water parks, but the Park Hopper Plus will get you into the water parks. Correct. And if you are planning on going to one water park, it is usually worth the added cost.
Yes.
Of getting the Park Hopper Plus, because it covers the cost of just one.
Yeah. If you want just the one time, it's worth it. If you think you may go 2 or 3 times,
it's
even
definitely worth it.
It also gets you into the miniature golf area
after 3
o'clock, something like that. So.
Yeah, so that's the difference. Now, should you get a Park Hopper ticket? So those of you who may be living on a budget and who's not living on a budget,
amen to that.
Here's what I say about the Park Hopper option. It takes a lot of time out of your day, and if you're trying to maximize the magic of your day, spending as much time as you can in the parks, when you leave a park to go to another park,
you lose an hour. At least
2 hours. You're talking about a loss of 2 hours. And I think this is the place where you can actually save some money. I don't recommend park hopping. One, if this is your first vacation to Disney World or Disneyland. Disneyland's
different.
A little different. But Disney World, yeah.
But Disney World, Yes.
Yeah. I don't recommend the Park Hopper ticket if it's your first trip to Disney World, because you are going to want to kind of go from morning to night at your parks, and you're going to want to spend as much time as that you're there. Now, if you're like us and you're going to Disney World once, twice a year, Park Hopper tickets may be a great option for you, because you're coming back. You've seen it all, or you're going to see it all. At some point, you're going to experience it again. I mean, just like this past trip, we didn't ride It's a Small World because we knew we would be back.
Correct.
Who goes to Disney World and doesn't ride It's a Small World unless you know you're coming back? So if you're planning on being a regular visitor, go ahead and do the Park Hopper option. But if you are a family who only goes once every 4 years, I don't really recommend it. And again, it's a great place to save a few extra dollars that you could put towards souvenirs, your flight, your gas, whatever.
Correct.
That you may need to put that to. Now, one other thing about Park Hopper.
Okay.
If you are going for the first time and you're going with just your significant other, whoever that may be, and whatever that may look like, I think the Park Hopper is a good option because you tour differently if you're not with kids.
Sure, and I get that. That's what I was going to say with this. Whenever we went down, just the two of us, Park Hopper was nice because then you weren't restricted to on the day one we're going to do Magic Kingdom, so all of our dining has to be Magic Kingdom. So if you're like Brandy, who turns around and says, "Be Our Guest" is number one restaurant for her to go to. Then, maybe the only day on her trip that Be Our Guest was available was on the third day. But that day wasn't the prime day to turn around and to do Magic Kingdom. It's nice to be able to park hop back and forth. So, okay.
Another question. Awesome. All right, so we have the wristbands, but could you explain how they work? How to put money on them and all that. Okay, so she is talking about the magic bands. And I'll go ahead and pull down a magic band here. So this is a magic band. That's a great question. Those who've never been, and we have some clients that haven't been in 8 years, and they were asking me about the magic bands recently. All right, so the magic band's pretty cool. It is everything that you need right on your wrist. It has an RFID chip in it, and so it's your key to your room. It unlocks your door. It is, if you're on the dining plan, it keeps up with the wristband doesn't keep up with all your credits, but you scan to use your dining credits. And Brandy, as far as money, what you do is you keep a credit card on file with Disney.
Or gift card.
Gift card. Or you can even give cash, but not what I would recommend because we're seeing that Disney's moving away from cash, so I don't really recommend that.
Yeah.
Anyway, any charges that you make at the parks, you can just scan your card and you have a PIN number. We help you set up that PIN number and all that kind of stuff, and everything gets basically charged to your room. And on your last day, there's an itemized bill that you can see on your My Disney Experience app. And from there, it will charge your credit card that's on file.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's quite convenient. I love having my room key on my wrist and my ticket into the park.
It's also, for those of y'all who live close enough to drive down, we drive down most every time, and because we like to be there real early, we'll actually drive our vehicle from our hotel over to the whichever park we're going to be at that day. So we're coming back. This lets us skip the stop being asked by someone why you're coming into that particular resort. You come up, you scan it, it goes, "Oh, you have a room here tonight." Right. So you can just slide right in. So it lets a lot of things in. It lets you have a lot of control over stuff. You can even, for parents out there, you can put spending limits on it. So you can say, Mom and Dad have unlimited spending, but little Johnny and little Susie can only spend $25 a day or $50 a day or whatever that price is you want. So that then they have their money and the child can then feel a little more free.
Is that? I did not know that. I was thinking that was for the cruise line for some reason.
No, you can do it on Magic
I learned something new.
So
I probably knew it. I have so much
you've
information
known
crammed
it
in
at
my
one
brain.
point. You've known it at one point.
I'll tell you what else. Also, your PhotoPass photos.
Oh shoot! Yes.
Yeah.
So whenever you're flying down the Splash Mountain and you're going ah, like she is, or I'm going like I am.
I always like to do funny poses.
They take a picture and it automatically knows who all it is. So every person who has their Magic Band on when they're writing down it, you have that link to your it goes to your My Disney Experience. Highly recommend getting a memory maker at that point if you're going to get a lot of it. So.
Yes, memory maker is well worth money.
Brady said that David will put a spinning limit on it.
Listen, I'm surprised Henry doesn't do the same thing to me, Brandon. So.
She'd find a way to circumvent the system, that's why.
Well, going to Disney World sometimes is what I call the one big shopping trip.
Yes. All right, so we have done that one and that one and that one. Did 3 of those on that one.
I love it.
I've done that one.
Give me another one.
Hold on a second. That one. All right, so is 4 days long enough to see and do everything? If not, how long do you need?
I think that's what they call a loaded question.
Probably is.
Is 4 days long enough to see and do everything? 4 full days in the park. Okay, so that's the most common, I think, amount of time spent on a vacation. I recommend 1 more day for rest in between, but not.
Most common is you drive on Sunday, or you travel on Sunday, you're there Monday through Friday, and you travel back on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's the most common
Right,
thing.
right. Can you see and do everything? No. Honestly, I've been going for 30 years now, and I haven't seen and done everything. I mean, I've done a whole lot. But for example,
we're now at the point things that you haven't done are things that you've chosen not to do.
Well, kind of. Like, I've never rented one of the little water mice,
Okay. Some of the extras.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a lot to the Disney Resort. I don't know. There's no other way to say it. There's a lot to the Disney Resort. It's not just about the 4 parks, the 2 water parks in Disney Springs. There is so much to experience. And, I'm at the point now when I go to Disney World that I like to stop and listen. It's more about the experiences of the entertainment that's around me than it is about the attractions, even though I love the attractions. What? You're laughing.
I put a song in my head, sorry.
Oh. But anyway, so there really is, like, you could spend a whole day doing attractions, and then you can spend the whole day just hanging out in a park and experiencing the park.
Yeah. It's like one of the things you talked about earlier is the tours. They do tours in the morning that's really cool to go to.
Yeah. I mean, this...
At the resorts, they kind of give you the history and the idea behind it, some of the little nuances of each of the resorts. So there's a lot to do on the property.
Yeah, if you're not a Disney enthusiast, if you're not like we are and just absolutely, this is where we go every year, multiple times a year often. Back before I truly started doing all the research and started just kind of falling in love with the Disney philosophy and all that kind of stuff, I was really more of a every other year vacationer, that kind of thing. So if you're planning on going back multiple times, but not like us, then I think 4 days is fine if you know you're coming back.
One thing that Dad always...
However, I do believe there should be a rest day in there.
Sure. One thing Dad always tells me on every vacation is always plan that you'll come back.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're going, whether it's Disney or DC or going out to California or traveling to Europe. Plan that and realize the fact that at some point, if you go to this trip and you go, oh my goodness, you get home and you go, I so wish we'd gone and done this, this, and this because we just didn't have enough time. Just go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, people get bit by the Disney bug. If you have a really good experience, and when you have a travel planner who tries to make sure that happens for you, so you don't get there and get overwhelmed by everything, then what you'll find is Disney's customer service, which is unlike any place I've ever been, other than, honestly, maybe Dollywood. I can't believe I said that. Yeah.
It's like they modeled it after theirs.
That's right. I mean, when you kind of get bit by that and you don't really want to go anywhere else. I mean, that goes for the cruise line too. I mean, there's just...
Sure.
It's just, honestly, it's the best. There's a reason why there's something called the Disney Institute, and corporations all over the world look to the Disney Institute for training. So, all right.
All right. Last question.
Okay.
Because we're running low on time. We're at 40-minute mark already.
Okay.
What's the most romantic restaurant?
This one, okay. So I think it depends on what you want to do for your romantic evening. But most of what you would call your signature restaurants are going to offer, I think, a more romantic setting. They're not going to be as loud.
Correct.
You're going to be in settings where you just might be able to have get a little bit closer to your loved one. Things like that. So the first things that pop off in my head are Narcoossee's, which is over at the Grand Floridian. Victoria and Albert's, which definitely is at the Grand Floridian, and I've never in my life eaten there, but it has a dress code. It's I think like one of the AAA Michelin. I can't even remember. Anyway,
it is the highest rated signature
cut and tie kind of place.
Yes.
Which again, never have eaten there, and honestly, I've never really thought about eating there. But maybe we should put that on our bucket list.
Sure.
California Grill is amazing. The food is amazing. And you can, even if you eat there for lunch, you could go back and you can watch the fireworks from the rooftop of the Contemporary.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. You can actually go back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Absolutely. You just bring your receipt from your meal or whatever.
That's cool. That's real cool.
And you can go back up there and watch, which is a really cool experience. Yachtsman Steakhouse is a kind of a go-to for anniversary dinners. And then you have... I hope I get this right. Monsieur Paul's over in Epcot in France, which is going to be more of a signature event. So any of your signature dining, and I can list off all kinds of signature dinings.
I know a big one you forgot.
What?
Remy's.
Oh, on the boat. I was like, on the boat. I'm sorry, that was not right. On the ship.
On the ship. On the cruise ship.
On the Disney Dream, yeah.
If you're, whenever you go on a Disney cruise, all of your food is provided.
Palos.
But there are 2 restaurants, I think, on all of the ships. I don't know that answer. There's at least 1 or 2 ship restaurants that is not included, that you have to pay for. You get dining reservations for.
Well worth the extra money.
Well worth the extra money. The views are amazing.
Yeah.
The food was amazing.
And it's really not a lot of extra. It's not like you're going in and paying for $200 for a meal. It's not like that.
No, it was with gratuity. And I know this sounds like a lot to some people, but with gratuity, I think it was $100 for the 2 of us, maybe.
At Palo?
Was it Palo that we went to, or Remy? We went to Palo. Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't even think it was that much.
It may have only been like
it was less,
$80,
yeah.
something like that. Remy's would have been a little more.
Yeah.
But
yeah, any of your signature dining, I think, is a great romantic spot. But, we were talking about this. One of our new favorite places is Sanaa over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is not a signature restaurant, but it's in the DVC portion of the Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's in, for lack of a better word, basement. It's on the bottom floor. And you've got these great views of their savannah.
Yep.
And it's not... it's
while
not
we're
overly
eating
crowded.
there,
It's really nice.
Couple of I almost said critters. A couple of the animals came up like to the window and right there with us.
Yeah.
So
Critters.
Yeah, it was while
it's critter country.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. While there were several tables, they could actually hold a fair number of people in the place. I never felt like it was crowded. It wasn't busy around me. We very much just kind of on our own at that point.
Yeah, and definitely talk to us when you plan your vacation, because with us, of course, because there are definitely some places you're going to want to avoid that you think are going to be the most romantic places, but sometimes they're not, because honestly they're loud. You know which one? Cinderella's Royal Table is actually a great spot. I know. There are a lot of children there. I mean, if you're looking for
I was going to say, we went for breakfast, and I absolutely loved it, but it was very much, there was a lot of kids. There was a show basically going on with it.
That's true.
it was neat, and I enjoy it, and it's a good restaurant, but I wouldn't have put it on my romantic list.
Critter Kingdom. You're funny. All right, so I guess that's really about it. That was fun.
Yeah.
Let's do this again.
Here's the deal, guys. What we need you to do is send us your questions. Thank you to those y'all tonight that you're going to ask us some questions on the fly. We'll try and do this every month or two. Whenever we got several questions to come through that we know need to be asked or answered aloud, we'll happily turn around and talk about it because we love to talk about Disney in general.
Absolutely. So make sure that you are liking our page, that you are making sure that you have notifications turned on.
Speaking of notifications, up here in the top right corner, right there, right up there.
Who knows?
I know. Should be in that corner.
Yeah, so those
three little dots up there. Click on it, say that you want to receive notifications whenever we go live, and that will let you come in and watch the craziness that we are.
But also make sure you share and tell your friends about us. The bigger community we have, honestly, the more fun we have.
Yeah, very true. Whenever we're here, we get to interact with y'all on the side. It is so much more fun than when it's just the two of us talking, because we talk to each other all day long, and we enjoy talking with each other. But
it's like you better enjoy talking to me.
Yeah, most days.
Anyway.
Alrighty, guys. Before I dig any deeper into my hole,
do you have any Disney trivia?
I did not put together trivia. I spent all the questions up.
You are such a slacker.
Well, some days I am. You're right. I sat on the couch way too long today and did nothing.
There's nothing like a good couch day, though. So with that said, guys, I want you all to stay healthy and
happy.
Yes, and healthy and happy. There's lots of illnesses going on out there. Just know that, we're thinking about you and praying for you, and hope everybody gets better, gets past this flu season.
Something just jumped into my mind also. For those of y'all who live down in the southeast, anywhere within driving or traveling distance to Atlanta, the middle of July this year, there is a new Atlanta comic convention going on, and I'm always looking at the comic artists and stuff. But
are you going?
We're going to that one.
Because you asked me if I wanted to.
I think you should go to it. Okay. Not necessarily set up, but maybe go do some interviews, because there are now 5 Disney voices that will be there.
Okay, so Jodie Benson.
The person that
Belle.
did Belle, the lady that did Jasmine, the person who does Goofy.
Oh, Bill Farmer.
Yeah, Bill Farmer.
Right.
And then there was another one I told you about, and then someone else just got added on this past week.
Will Brian Kessinger be there too? The guy who does the octopus.
Not that I've seen yet.
Okay, all
right. But there's going to be, over in this comic convention, which everybody's like, oh, comics not necessarily my thing. But as a Disney fan, it is definitely can fall well within your realm of things.
Brandy, if you're still watching, Jodie Benson will be there.
Yes.
Looks like I'm going to this one. I have to see when it is, because that's actually when we're trying to plan our trip to Disney.
It is the 15th-ish of July. Okay. It's that weekend right around the 15th. And it's just in Atlanta. It's not that far away, at least from us. And those y'all who are maybe nearby, if you're within a couple-hour drive to Atlanta, want to go down and meet some of these folks.
I would love to meet Bill Farmer.
Well, that's why I think you should go down is with Disnerds Life and actually do a live chat with them.
Sounds good to me.
A lot of those folks would be happy to turn around and do an interview.
Yeah, sounds good.
So
awesome. So with that said, you guys stay healthy, stay safe, stay warm. We will be back on next week.
It's 60 degrees outside. How does you not stay warm now?
Well, ask Laurie what it's like.
Oh, I'm sorry, Laurie. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot.
It's cold up there. It's cold up there.
It's still blizzarding up there.
Yeah. But anyway, so you guys stay healthy and know that we're thinking about you. And we will be back next week, right? You're not going out of town?
No, not out of town yet.
Okay. So we will be back next week at 8:30.
Walt Disney World time.
Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, guys.